Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome back to my public feed. I'm doing a live here, not because I really don't want anyone to come on, to be honest with you, because I just want to get through this. But I want to talk about some things that have been burdening my heart and my soul, and really my mind, and it's been messing up my mental health hard. Um, so it will come to some surprise, as you can see from what used to be the cross on my head. I went to church, I went to mass this morning, and I went to mass where I went to school from kindergarten through eighth grade. And it felt good to be back. It felt good to be in there. It will not become a habit, but here's the interesting thing. All my friends who are either atheists or on a metaphysical level will sit there and go, well, hey, as long as it makes you happy, that's great. Other people I know, not all. A lot of my religious friends, they're great. They're great. They're just kind of like, yeah, good for you. Glad it helped you. How did it feel? To be back. But others, the very small minority will sit there and say, well, and have a long dialogue with me in my comments about how I should go back, how it's the right thing to do, how I need to have Jesus in my heart in order to get to heaven or to move on to that better place, on the other side. Bullshit. Okay. This does not make me better than anybody else. This makes me Shelly Marie. This makes me the girl who was baptized Catholic, raised Catholic by a hardcore Catholic. All right? That's what it makes me. That's it. It doesn't make me any better or any less than anybody else of any persuasion, any religion, any gender, any whatever. It doesn't. But a lot of people think it does. But it doesn't. I'm just me. I'm a polytheist. I have a lot of deities that sit at my table, but because I was raised Catholic and because it's so familiar to me, God sits at the front. Now, my metaphysical friends are like, hey, no problem. That's great. You do you. Some of my other friends, no. I've actually been told by one friend who I love and adore that I was wrong. And I said, well, what about other religions? Well, they're wrong too. Really? Really? So someone who's raised in a different religion that doesn't believe in God and might believe in somebody else, they're wrong? Hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of years of them worshiping this, them and their ancestors worshiping this person, and they're wrong? Some religions date back before, the birth of Jesus Christ, before Christianity. Some religions don't go past the Old Testament of the Bible because they don't believe in, they believe Jesus is a prophet, but they don't believe he's the son of God. you know and so where do we go from here? Who have we become? It's not about religion, and it's certainly not about politics, which I'm going to touch on in a second. But if you've gotten this far, I really, really implore you to hang in there, because I want to know what the fuck happened to us as a country. We have become so divided, it's not even funny. The reason I started out with religion is because the priest today talked in his sermon about Lent. Lent is about giving things up. And he said, let's not talk about the chocolate and the alcohol and the salt and the fast food and, all this other stuff that we might give up that's very kind of frivolous in a way, right? They're the easy things. Anybody can give up chocolate for 40 days. You know, um, Anybody can, it's hard sometimes, yeah. Or the soda. I remember I used to give up soda every Lent. And it was hard for me because I would literally detox from it over the first couple of days. But after that, it's kind of like, yeah. But then we go right back to it at the end, right? We just, hey, it's day number whatever, and so I'm gonna pick up that candy bar. I'm gonna pick up that drink. I'm gonna pick up that soda, and then that's it. But he talked about how Pope Francis talked about letting go of indifference. And the way he explained it to the kids there, because I chose today's mass at 8:30 because I wanted to go to the kids' mass. It was a little nostalgic for me. I went to the church where I grew up, where I spent my parochial or my grade school years from kindergarten to eighth grade. And so I knew that they were going to have a mass with the children's choir and everything. And I was like, you know what? I need to be there for that. I need to soak in all this wonderful innocence because, we've lost that. We've lost that. We have let religion divide us. We have let politics divide us. We have let our opinions, just whack each other with hate. If you know me, you know where I stand. You absolutely know where I stand. And it may not be right next to you, but if you know me, I love you. if you're my friend. I care about you. I have had some gnarly conversations with people that no matter how much facts I gave them, how many facts I gave them, they literally just hit me with more, whatever they could throw. You know, it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's like, the knife might be the facts, and you're trying to say, look, this can hurt you. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, watch my gun. It can hurt you faster. It's not about being better. But we've lost ourselves. We're so fucking divided right now. It's not even funny. It's not funny. You have people sitting there posting their personal opinions and their beliefs, and then, there's people mocking them in the comments. I have friends who are doing, who are resisting right now, who are posting how they feel. And I see in their comments people mocking them. I mean, the current government, their own party is split. But if you talk to some of them, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It is very split. Very split. The majority of the people I know who are on the right are center right. And they're fighting to get their party back from a group of people who have just picked it up and ran with it. And who are now in charge. And who have spent, almost 10 years dividing us. Because they don't want to open their eyes. But there's so much hate. And I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm not here to tell you, you shouldn't vote this way or you shouldn't think that way. You want to believe that, that's okay. I don't care. When I'm out at gatherings, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about religion. Every so often, someone will bring it up. And even then, when you throw facts at people, they still try to, sit there and repeat themselves and repeat themselves and repeat themselves. And after a while, you just get tired. And I'm so fucking tired. I'm tired. I have like-minded friends sending me clips all the time. I go into my social media on one of my social media, and it's just like, it's nothing but politics. And so I decided for Lent that what I want to do is what I do best. I resist with silence, and not silence to be complicit. My silence is, I'm going to sit here and do my best for the next 40 some odd days. So, side note, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Lent is not 40 days, okay? Jesus was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, but Lent still goes through Palm Sunday, so it's about 47 days, all right? So let's make that clear. And if I ruin that for anybody, I am so sorry. But now you know how I feel when I figured it out. But I'm tired. I'm so tired. My soul is tired. Everything about me is just so fucking tired of this. I am in my, I have completed 5 decades. I'm 52 years old. And in my, we'll say a good 40 years, okay? Because, around 12 is when you kind of become a little more familiar with politics. In the majority of that time, I have never seen the country this divided. I have had friends who were able to be on either side of the table and talk to each other. I've seen them agree on things down the middle on certain things. When I first was able to vote, I was registered as a Republican. In 2016, I left the party because I just couldn't understand. I couldn't understand. And like I said, I'm not judging you. I'm not going to judge you, because here's the thing. No matter how much you tell somebody, if they don't want to hear it, it doesn't matter what side, okay? It doesn't matter what side you sit on, whether it's politics, religion, anything. If someone is very firm on how they believe, there's nothing you can tell them. You can throw straight facts at them. You can catch their people in lies, and they'll still defend it. They'll still defend it. And I don't know if it's because they don't want to admit they're wrong, or if because they just absolutely have to be right. I have learned in my life that I don't need to be right all the time. And I've also learned in my life that I am sick and tired of, trying to convince people to understand where a lot of other people are coming from. So I'm going to say this to you clearly. No matter who you are, no matter how you identify, no matter what religion you are or what political affiliation you are, if you see me and you feel like someone's troubling you, you're safe with me. Okay, you are safe with me because I'm not going to be these bullies on the other side sitting there going, "Oh, F you, oh, F that," or posting mean things on people's, posts. If you got something to say, say it. Say it on your own page. But don't literally search out your friends' comments just to be a jackass. Okay? Because you may think you're funny, but you're not. Because remember, every so often the shoe is on the other foot. And when the shoe is on the other foot, you don't like it much more either. This isn't about a tit for tat. This isn't about, who's better, who's not better. This is about trying to find some kind of common ground for us to get back to. Because this country is divided. And for all those fucking people out there who think that if they don't vote like the government in power right now, they're not a patriot, I got news for you. Fuck you, okay? Because I have basically been bleeding red, white, and blue since I was a kid. And I will continue to bleed red, white, and blue until the day I die. No matter where in this world I go, I will bleed the stars and stripes because I believe in her. I believe in the message that she has. I believe that this is supposed to be a country for people to come to make their dreams come true. I believe that at the core of who we were when this country started, that our founding fathers knew things were going to change, that things were going to be different, that things were not going to stay the same as they were in 1776, because everything changes. Everything changes. That's why they made the Constitution the way they did. That's why they made it so we can amend certain things to improve this country, not send it back 200 years. I mean, you have someone sitting there saying there's somebody out there that's 312 years old. For fuck's sake, this country is only 248 and she's not even had her birthday yet. That's not till July. But all that aside, what has happened to us? Who are we? Who are we that we attack our own friends and family? Who are we that, people will sit there if they disagree with us and call us these horrible names? I mean, I had it out with a friend and I don't even know where we stand anymore, to be honest with you. But they called me such horrible things. Really horrible things. And this is someone I've known for over 20 years who I thought knew me better. But we didn't agree. We didn't agree on politics. And so, every time I tried to hand over the olive branch, I got whacked with it. Or I got called condescending. Or I got called self-centered. And I'm bringing that up, and I didn't want to bring that up, but I'm bringing that up now because it hurt. And it up until recently, it's really weighed on my mind. And obviously, you can see I'm still trying to heal from that because it's like, and then people will sit there and go, well, you're just a snowflake. I'm not a fucking snowflake, asshole. Okay? It's like, I may get my ass kicked, but I will go toe to toe with you. Because I'm not afraid anymore. I'm too fucking old to be afraid. For God's sakes. I'm 52. When do we stop? If you want to share your politics, that's great. But fact check. Do your fucking work and fact check. Check your information. Check your information. Check your information. That's all I got to say about that. Just check your fucking information before you sit there and spout off stupid shit. It's not that hard. The internet is an amazing place still before it gets any more censored than it already has. But I'm angry. And that's why I can't talk about this anymore. That's why I'm doing this video, because I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm giving this up for Lent. For Lent, I am not going to be indifferent. I am not going to sit there and try to tell somebody what I think they should know, what I think they should hear. I'm not going to sit there and send the actual facts to people because they're not going to listen anyways. The majority of them are just going to double down. And I'm very blessed to know that I have enough people on both sides of the aisle towards the center that are sitting there doing that work for us. They're out there fighting. They're out there trying to say, hey, please wake up. Wake up. Because this country is divided. I don't know who she is anymore. I don't. I don't. I see people being complete bigots and racists and misogynists on posts, not necessarily people I know, but just when I go through social media. It's like you like one thing and all of a sudden you get everyone else's replies and it's just this ugly rabbit hole that you go down. But who are we? When did some of us become trolls? That's not who we are at the core. It's not. And a lot of times, this is exactly what I've said. This government has given people a reason to be angry. You could have some kind of trauma from 10 years ago, but you're allowed to be angry now. Bullshit. Healing is how we move forward. And my whole diatribe right now may not feel like it's something that, we can move forward on, but it is. Because I'm getting this up and out of me. Because my goal and my job in life, my purpose, is to spread love and light. My goal, my job, my purpose is to do what I can to unify people once again, to bring people back together. I'm not fighting every day to tear this country apart. I'm fighting every day to bring everyone back together, to put us back under the same umbrella, no matter what color we sit under or what animal we sit under, and remind ourselves that we should be able to break bread with one another without trying to hit each other with the loaf. And again, so I ask, who are we? Who have we become? Oh, we wake up in the morning and people think it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Waking up with so much anger and so much malice and so much worry and so much sadness and so much gloating and smirking and smugness. It doesn't matter who is in power. We should never wake up like that, ever. Whether it's a Democrat in power, whether it's a Republican in power, an independent, Green Party, whoever's in charge at the time, we should never wake up smug, ever. Because that's where division starts. When we start thinking we're better than everybody else. When we start thinking that we're better than that person that we either wake up next to, or that we wake up across the hall from, or that, we wake up across the street from, we're not. Like I said, Mom Barbara once taught me one time when I was really, really down on myself. Nobody's better than you, and you're not better than anybody else. We're all here to bring our purpose to the table, whatever it is. I'm not very good at the political stuff, as you can see, because it does make me angry. But I am good at spreading love and light. I am good at doing what I can to bring people together, to try to unify people, to try to, mend this division. It's like in the movie Brave, right? With Merida, when Merida gets so mad that she cuts the tapestry in half that her mother had worked on, of the two of them. That's where we're at, guys. Our flag has been torn in half. I have kind friends outside of this country who check on me a lot to make sure I'm okay. Because this is a strange climate we live in nowadays. Very, very strange. And so I just want to leave everyone with this. If you've been brave enough to watch it all the way through, who have we become? What have we become? Lady Liberty stands for something. She stands for freedom. She is the welcoming beacon to so many, not just people trying to come to this country, but people who live here. She's our hope. She is the symbol of our hope. And she was a gift. She was a gift from France to commemorate our centennial, I believe. We just have to decide who we are. Do we keep wanting to be bitter and angry and fighting with one another? Because for me, this is just me only, Okay, I am not a churchgoer, but going back to church today was just nice. I wanted to be close to my mom today, because my mom was very religious. She went to church every Sunday if she could. She did all the holidays, and she would always be disappointed if I was in town and I didn't go with her. So I did this for her today. And, like I said, I got something out of the priest's sermon because he was right. Too many of us are indifferent. Too many of us are indifferent. And the ones who aren't indifferent, they're on either side, just knocking heads. We need to come together. We need to unify, and we need to stop dividing this country any further than it's already been divided. Like I said, most people that see my posts, you know where I stand. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I will not apologize for that. I have belonged to one party. I left it, like I said, I left it in 2016 because I just could not understand. And I became a non-partisan party or non-party partisan. And, I do lean left now. But I do my homework and I do my fact checking. And I don't think that's a lot to ask of people. And I don't mean fact checking in one spot. Do the homework, do the footwork. Don't just look for the article that agrees with you. Look at everything. There have been a lot of things that I've wanted to post that I thought, oh, that's someone's opinion. I am not posting that because that's not factual. It's not. But we do need to ask ourselves, who are we and what have we become? I don't recognize this anymore. And it hurts my heart and it hurts my soul. And it's pretty close to breaking my brain now. So for all of you out there fighting for all the good stuff, resisting, thank you. Thank you. Because you're a lot more brave than I am. You truly, truly are. For those fighting for the people who don't have a voice, thank you. For those of you fighting for our marginalized community, thank you. I thank you. And I look to you for strength. And I look to you to and I know that you're going to take care of business. Because this is about saving our country. I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about us as a people. Government's always going to come and go, hopefully. And by that I mean I hope things don't change. I hope we still run on our every 4 year thing. And maybe that's a fear of mine. But we've got to stop being afraid. We've got to stop letting people use their propaganda and their fear mongering to make us afraid of things, to make us worry about other things. I saw a great article with Warren Buffett the other day. Prices are always going to go up. They're always going to go up. That's just how the world works. And now they're really going to go up because tariffs are going to make things go up. That's how it works. We're not punishing the other country. They're just going to put it back on everything we import. And then we'll probably stop importing, but it's not going to stop the rest of the world from importing from them, but it will stop the rest of the world from importing from us. And I am sorry that I made this political. I was trying not to go down that road, but you can see how angry I am and how angry I've become. And saying all this really helped, but now I'm just sad. I'm just sad. My friend, for her profile photo, has a picture of Lady Liberty with her head in her hands crying. And that's how my heart feels. My heart is broken. My heart is broken. There was a time when I was a Republican that I could talk with my Democratic friends. And we would just have talks. And sometimes we'd agree. And like I said, sometimes we wouldn't. Sometimes they would say things and I'm like, oh, well, I was wrong about that. But, hey, thanks for letting me know. And it was fine. We can't even really do that anymore. I mean, sibling, my other friends, a lot of us just end up shaking our head every day. And so I am taking a break from politics. I have to. It's damaging my psyche. It's damaging my mental health. And my mental health has to come first. But to all of you, like I said, if you see me and you feel in danger, you are safe with me. You are always safe with me. To our marginalized communities, you are safe with me. I may not be the greatest defender on the planet, but I do my best. Like I said, I will probably get my ass kicked, but I will go toe to toe. I will go toe to toe if I have to protect someone, because that's what's important. We have to look out for one another. We have to stop dividing ourselves with opinions, and like I said, I'm not going to try to correct anyone anymore. And when I say correct anyone, I mean just give them actual facts, because people who don't want to listen are not going to listen. And people will say, well, you can't just give up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, you know. But my job and my purpose and my goal, like I said, is to spread compassion, to spread love, to spread empathy. Father talked about that today in church. I know, here we are back at religion again. And it's not something I plan on doing weekly. Like I said, I did this because I wanted to feel close to my mom, and I did get something out of it. I felt a very spiritual connection back to the place that I spent so many years. But I also got a really, really good message from the priest. He says we have to remind ourselves to be compassionate, to be empathetic, to be loving and kind. You have people that go out there and they go to church and then they come out and they're just assholes. And you have people that live their life and they pray to their deity, or they sit in their garden and they meditate, and then they go out in life and they're just assholes. I've done that. I left church today. I got on the freeway and it was like someone cut me off. It's like, are you effing kidding me right now? And it's like, oh my God, Shelly Marie, you just got out of church. But that was my anger. I've been thinking about this all morning. I've been thinking about it since the pastor's, or since the father's sermon. And it's just kind of become the cherry on the top of how I'm already feeling, of the most negative hot fudge sundae ever. And I don't want to be that person anymore. I can't. I can't be that person. I have worked too hard for my mental health to let it slide over something like this. So, like I said, if I am here, I will back all of you. I will be here and I will support you. Um, to those, again, one last time, if you are defending our marginalized groups, thank you. And again, I look to you for strength, and I look to you for courage, because I'm not as brave as a lot of you. I'm not as brave as a lot of you who are out there protesting and doing all these wonderful things, exercising your freedom of speech. But what I do know is that this right now is not what our founding fathers had intended. They wanted to bring this country together. And now we're more divided than we've ever been. And that breaks my heart. That truly, honestly breaks my heart. And so, my job, to do exactly what I was reminded to do today. And I really believe that was the true meaning. I believe that's why my mother made me go today, to remind me that compassion, love, empathy, that's what saves people. That's what saved me. It's what helped me remove the anger. I had so much anger, and I don't like that feeling. And so that's why I came on to do this video. And I know it's long, and I'm very, very sorry. But yeah, for Lent, that's my thing. Compassion, love, and empathy. To no longer be indifferent, but to care about everybody as a whole. Like Jane Fonda said, surprisingly, I'm quoting her because sometimes she just annoys me, but we're going to need a big tent. We're going to need a big tent, because there's a lot of people right now that FAFO'd, and they FAFO'd hard, and now they're seeing what's happening. And they're like, wait a minute, this one's supposed to happen to me. But I'm here for you too. All right? I don't care where on the board you sit. I'm here for you. Because in the grand scheme of things, we're all in this together. And I need to mend my heart. because I love this country. I am a hardcore patriot of this country. And yes, I lean left. So people who are resisting, they're patriots. People who resisted before with the other government that was in power, they're patriots too. We all just have our own way of showing it, you know? And I guess if I'm going to try to be the person that tries to help unify all of us, I have to be accepting of everyone across the board, which is going to be hard. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard. But that's what we do: compassion, love, and empathy. All right. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for letting me spill my guts out. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll see you tomorrow.